Hello, first fruits. How you doing? Let me put my glasses on so I can see. I mean, I can see, but I don't want to be squinching my eyes. Wait, they're still dirty. I should have brought my glass cleaner over. Let's see. Nope, gotta put a little water on them. Hold on. Let me see. So I don't feel like getting up, going to get my glass cleaner. Hope I can sleep better. I gotta go get my glass cleaner. I'll be right back. My glass cleaner. There's one. Come in. I had to go get my glass cleaner. Let's see if this do better. I don't know how they get so dirty. I barely wear these things. Let me see. Okay, that's a little better. Clean my screen on my phone. How y'all doing? Okay, so I got some stuff to tell y'all. Hold on, I gotta put my thing on. Okay. All right, listen. I had a vision that, okay, it was Biden. Okay, first we're going to go all the way back. Y'all remember before Biden became president, I saw him becoming president and people were so angry with me and mad at me. But I saw him as president and I saw Kamala Harris as vice president. And then I turned around and had a vision where I saw Kamala becoming president. And Obama was backing her and was behind her. And then I had 3 visions where I saw the president in a coffin. He was in a coffin at the White House like John McCain. Remember, I saw John McCain dying and he was in the same coffin and it happened a year later. Right? I saw John McCain dying of brain cancer and that's exactly what happened to him. So I saw Obama 3 times, not Obama, Biden 3 times. And then y'all remember the vision I had like a year and a half ago. Biden had fell down on the ground and Camilla, Nancy Pelosi, Obama, and all of them was laughing at him and nobody would help him get up. Now, I had another vision. Obama was leading it, trying to oust Biden. So we're going to hear about Obama trying to get Biden out of the race. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to drop out or they're going to force him out, but I saw Obama, ex-President Obama, leading the pack to oust Biden from running and replacing him with someone else. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Kamala Harris or it's going to be somebody else because I couldn't see the person. The person was standing behind ex-President Barack Obama. Whoever this person is that Obama was trying to replace Biden with was standing behind him. So I couldn't see if it was a female or a male. So I don't know if it's going to be Camilla because I've seen Camilla becoming president, but they be changing stuff so much in the spiritual realm, right? So I don't know if it was her or if it was that Justin Trudeau, whoever, or somebody that we couldn't even think of. But they're going to try to oust Biden and Obama is going to be at the head of it. He's going to be the leader of the pack. Whether we know it or not, or he doing it on the down low, he is going to be the one to lead the pack to oust Biden. What? I told y'all, although Obama cannot become the president again because the Constitution prevents that, but he can still run things behind the scenes, because I saw him standing next to Camilla before Biden even became president, right? And then I had another vision of her where I was her like lead administrator. I was like the boss over all her administration and the vision. And she had gray pants on and a white shirt, and her hair was going back in a ponytail. And she called my name as clear as day. She said, Rosalind, get everybody ready because we're moving to the big house. I said, the big house? She said, yeah, the White House. She said that. This was 2 years ago. And y'all remember back in 2018, I saw a black woman becoming a president. And Camilla, we all know Camilla fit that description. So she's not like the head president, but she's second in command. So that vision came to pass. You know, and when I kept seeing Joe Biden being president, man, y'all really came for me like a juggler, right? And y'all remember I saw him and Camilla standing on the podium, and all these people, they were so happy, but it was blood in the skies. How many of y'all remember that vision I had that October in, what was it, 2019 or 2020? And I saw all this blood all around him. And look what's happening, y'all. Look what's happening. We've had more bloodshed in this presidency than in our time, right? So those visions came to pass. And then just like the cryptocurrency dream vision I had October 2020, and I saw all those crypto coins. It was so many of them. They was down in the dirt. They was down in the dirt. They were sorrowful. They were pitiful. They were worthless. And they were down in the dirt. And then all of a sudden, I heard a voice called Ethereum. And look at Ethereum. It's $3,000 and something dollars. It's doing better than Bitcoin, right? And I saw all these coins going. It was like down in the dirt. They kept trying to come up, and then this entity kept, putting them in the dirt, right? And then I saw a Bitcoin rising up, and it did. And I kept seeing Bitcoin going up, down, up, down, up, down. How many of y'all remember that vision, right? And then finally in the end, and then they had, it was this big old fat looking Casper ghost. He was dirty. Like you could see the stinchy, like, like in a cartoon, you see the stinchiness coming out. I saw it. And he was like farting. The cryptocurrency was in a glass, and he was like raising his butt up, smiling. And then it was the witches. Remember the 13 council? What was it? 13 witches council? It was like 13 of them, and they was spilling the beans on Yadabov, and he zipped their mouth up. They didn't want to do what he wanted. They did not want to do what he wanted them to do for his crypto, right? Cursing the crypto. And so he took their mouths away from them. How many of y'all remember that vision? TC has it on his channel because he talked about it. I believe Brother Johnny did too, right? So for like 2 years and 8 months, what has been happening to crypto? Look what's happening now, y'all. This is worse than 2021, when the day after Thanksgiving, everything started tanking, and it just never been the same since. What's happening now is worse than that. And I'm like, Daddy, what in the world? What in the world? I was like, you told me June and July was going to be volatile. And he told me after July 15th, how many of y'all remember that? I told y'all that at the end of last year or this year when I gave the word for this year. He said after July 15th, things was going to get better. But he said from June, starting like the end of May to like mid-July, bad. Very volatile. But I was like, but you didn't tell me it was going to be this bad. People losing their shirt, their pajamas, their underwear, their t-shirt, their bras, their jackets, their pants, their dresses, their belts, their wallets, pocketbooks. People are just losing money like bananas. I was looking to stock up with Larry. They call him Uncle Larry. I was listening to him yesterday. He said he lost a lot of money. And then I was listening to some other gurus, and they said the same thing. They lost a lot of money, right? Then I was listening to Brother Johnny. He was like, why is we in a bear market, y'all? But I think Brother Johnny forgot that I gave that word that June, end of May to like mid-July was going to be very, very volatile. And then God said after, so let's keep falling on. And God said after, now see, this one ain't staying on like the other one do. Hold on, let me fix this thing. You know what? I might have to put the other one on if this don't want to stay on. Right. So I think Brother Johnny forgot that I had gave that. Oh, you know what? This one's not as long as the black one. That's the problem. I think Brother Johnny forgot I gave that word. So after July 15th, I was talking to God yesterday about it. And I was like, does it still stand after July 15th? Things are going to get better. And he told me, yeah. Now, as far as the rate cut, he didn't tell me which month they're going to do it. If they're going to do it in July. I think they take a spring or summer break in August. So it could be in July, September, or October. It's definitely going to be before November. Because the race, they vote for president, what is it, November 8th, right? So they're definitely going to do it before November. The Lord told me that. But he didn't give me a specific month because they keep switching. 1 minute they determine it's going to be July. Then the next minute they determine September or October. And I kept seeing in the vision where they kept saying something about some kind of data they waiting for. I don't know what kind of data they waiting for. Some kind of report. It wasn't inflation. It was some other report. But I can't remember the name of it. But it wasn't an inflation report. It was some other kind of data dependency report. Something like that they were waiting on. And when they see it, that's when they're going to determine if they going to raise the rate. Lower the rates. Because the moment they lower the rates, that's when the market's going to start going up. So maybe that's why God said after July 15th, because it could be. I don't know when their next meeting is. I know they have one in July, but I don't know if it's after the 15th or before the 15th. But that's why God told me, last year, and I told y'all after July 15th, it was going to get better, right? Start getting better. So whenever they decide to lower the rates, that's when it's going to start getting better. And even when I was listening to Stock Up with Larry, he said exactly what the Lord had told me, that when they do the market rate lowering thing, that the market would get better. But I was like, God, you didn't tell me it was going to be this volatile. I mean, people are losing their shirts. It's getting to the point where I don't even want to look at it. That's so depressing. I don't even want to look at it. Right? And I was like, Daddy, I feel sorry for folks because I know they losing their shirts, their underwear, the bras, everything, panties. Sorry, y'all. Shoes, socks. You know what I mean? And people jumping ship. Right? And this is the worst time to jump ship. This is not financial advice, nor my guru. I'm just saying, this is the worst time to jump ship because you selling your assets, you're selling them for 50% off. You done lost 50% of your portfolio. And then you're going to sell some of it? Come on. This is the best time. And I know people like, you know what, Apostle? I'm so tired of buying the dip. Me too. That's why I ain't buying the dip. I'm happy with what I got from the other dips. No more dips, right? So I know, people like hold on, y'all. People like Apostle. I'm sick of buying the dip. I don't even got no money to buy the dip, baby. I know. I'm there with you. I know. I'm sick of the dips too. And I ain't trying to get no dips neither. I'm happy with the dips I had already got. It is what it is. A spade is a spade. Right? But listen, this gives it. And I was listening to Johnny yesterday. And when I was listening to Stock Up with Larry, because I try and listen to him when I can, right? And I had some time yesterday. So Brother Johnny was like, he was like so enthused. He was like, yeah, this is the dip, y'all. You could get that million jazz. And I'm like, how they gonna get that million jazz? Because I tested it. I went into Coinbase and I put in like $1,000 just to see what you get. You only get 69 million, no, 39 million of jazz. 39 not 39 million. What was it? 39, that was it 39,000? Yeah, you only got 39,000 and some change for $1,000. And then I tested sheep, and I put in $1,000 for sheep to see what it would be. And you only could get 60, was it 69? It was either 6,900 or 69 million. Yeah, that's all you could get with sheep. Now, back in the day, with $1,000 with sheep, you could get like 100 million a couple of years ago, right? And with Jasmine, a year and a half ago, with 1,000, you could have got a couple of $100,000, right? So I'm like listening to Brother Johnny, and I'm going to my other phone, and I'm like, what is he talking about? You get $1 million? No, you can't. The $1,000 don't even get you nothing. You would need, like, to get 1 million sheep, $20,000. What? And to get 1 billion, Jasmine, and to get 1 billion sheep, you would need thousands of dollars. So that's not really a dip, unless she picks up another zero. And unless Jasmine picks up another zero, then if they pick up another zero before it's all said and done, then you could probably maybe get 500,000 of Jasmine and maybe 500 million of she. But if they don't pick up no more zeros, baby, them days is over. You see what Sheeb is? It's like 16, 16 point something. If she picks up another zero, then you in the race. You could take $1,000 and you probably get half of you probably get anywhere from 200 million to 300 million sheep. And if Jasmine picks up another zero, you may be able to get about anywhere from 200 to 300 million. Am I saying that right? Whatever. You'll be able to pick up money, but some chips. But if they don't add another zero to them things, if it don't get that bad before the 15th, it's very hard to get 1 million Jasmine and 1 billion sheaves at this point. They would have to pick up another zero. Jasmine might have to pick up 2 zeros for you to have a chance to get at 1 million. Jasmine, she may have to pick up 1 zero, so you can have a chance to get like at least 100 million. If they don't pick up zeros, which I hope they don't, if they don't pick up zeros, what's the purpose, Johnny? I love you, bro, but that's too much money. Ain't nobody got money like that. Maybe you do. So we just gonna be happy with what we have. What we have. Now, the other coins, like I saw AMP coin, AMP. I gave y'all prophecy about that coin a couple of years ago, and it was doing real good back in the day, right? So I bought me some more of that because that was dirt cheap. It picked up a zero. I'm like, oh snap, I'm getting me some more of this AMP, man. It picked up a zero. So I was like, oh daddy, can I get some of this? He was like, go right ahead. And I went and got me some more of that AMP. I ain't telling y'all to get it. I'm just saying that's a good coin. And when back in the day before the market started dropping, that coin was a good coin. That was a very, very good coin. AMP, AMP, very good coin. So I'm not telling you sell, hold, or buy, but it's dirt cheap to get that. Dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. You ain't gotta spend but like $100, $200 to get you a decent amount. You know what I'm saying? And then what's the other one? The Luna Classic coins. Well, it picked up a zero because it was like 3 zeros, right? And it picked up a zero. And I believe Brother Johnny was talking about that one. Now he was good on that one. You could probably take $100 and maybe get you 1 million Luna Classics, right? So he was right about that because he was like, yeah, if you spend $100, you could get 1 million. Then he was like, if you spend $1,000, you could get 10 million. So he was on point with that one, right? I was like, yeah, because that one picked up a zero, right? So, but a lot of people probably done lost hope in Luna Classic, because of the stuff with Daquan, the original owner, and all the messy stuff that was going on with it. But like when I was listening to Brother Johnny yesterday, he was like, they're not fighting anymore. The dib teams, they're not fighting anymore. The what do you call those things that Christopher Harris be doing? what do you call them, moderate? I forget what you call them, but people, be staking with them. Like the one that Johnny got, he be burning stuff. I think, what was his name? Larry? What do you call them? People, well, anyway, he was saying how, they're not fighting anymore. You know what I mean? It's, so that's a good thing. And, nobody really knows what's going on with Daquan. But y'all remember that vision I had 2.5 years ago? The fat lady was beating him so bad. And on the 4th try, he got away. And he never looked back. He took off. And the Lord told me, when that happened, that's when the Luna coins, Luna Classic, and what's the other one? Luna 2.0, was that like 40 cents now? That's when the Lord told me those coins were going to take off. So we're almost at the finish line with Daquan because he's not being deported here. And I think he's out of prison. I think Johnny said that. But don't nobody know if he's in Dubai or in Korea or wherever he is. And I know I had a vision, and I told y'all when he gets out, there was going to be a whole new chain. He was going to make a whole new chain. I don't know if it's going to be a Luna chain or some new coin. And all of these Lunas was going to merge. Somehow they were going to merge, like Luna Classic and Luna 2.0 and the Luna wormhole. I saw them all merging. And y'all remember when I saw stuff like that before it came to pass. So I guess when he finally gets from under whatever he needs to get under and pay back this and pay back that, he's going to create. Because like I told y'all, the Lord told me that it wasn't all his fault. That's why he was only in prison for like 6 or 7 months. Because if it was really his fault, he'd be going down. Like, he'd be gone for years. You know what I mean? And he would have to pay back way more money than he has, right? So that's why he's going to be able to create a whole new chain. But I don't know if it's going to be a Luna chain because I couldn't see what chain, the name of the chain, but I saw it. How many of y'all remember that vision? So he's going to do something brand spanking new. And then I saw the Luna Classic, Luna 2.0, all these Lunas being merged together, right? So once all of that stuff happened, I guess the U.S., what do you call that? The U.S., what's the other one? It's like a penny and some change. The UST, whatever, is going to start going on. And then remember, how many of y'all remember 2 years ago, I saw Tether crashing. I was listening to the TC the other day, and he was like, Tether about to crash. I'm like, God, you showed me that like 2 years ago, that Tether was going to crash. And I heard TC as clear as day that Tether was going to crash eventually. I'm like, whoa. And I saw that. Also, Crypto.com, I had a dream about them. There are some coins, maybe 1 or 2. I think it was Luna Classic, right? And then it was another coin. They took off because of the problems. But I saw them bringing back Luna Classic. I saw them bringing it back. They took it off their platform for, I guess, because they wasn't sure about Daquan, if he's going to get out of jail, if he was going to have to come here. So they took it off, about 5-6 months ago. But in a vision a while back, I saw them bringing back that Luna Classic. So for those of you who got stuck with Luna Classic on that platform, and you can't move it or whatever, because it's not a lot of transfer wallets that you could transfer it to, but I mean, there's a few, right? Do not be dismayed because Crypto.com is going to bring it back where you'll be able to trade and buy and sell on it. But it's going to depend on Daquan. Once he starts getting himself together and doing what I saw him do in the vision, it's going to be restored. And other places that might have took it down, it's going to be restored. And I kept seeing, I don't know if y'all remember, but I kept seeing BNB chain involved with either Daquan or his new team, or they may be going to do something on their own because they own a lot of that Luna Classic. But I saw their hand being involved in it too. And then I saw like a lot of big burns coming. Once all of this stuff got settled, I saw a lot of, how many of y'all remember this vision? I saw a lot of big burns with that Luna. So, but a lot of people done gave up on it. They don't even hold it no more. But they're gonna wish they did when this time comes. When is this gonna come? I don't know, but they're gonna wish they did. And one thing I learned about being in crypto, I mean, Brother Johnny tried to teach me about it back in 2017. I mean, I had like 3 Bitcoins. Man, I was hurt. I'm over it now, but I was hurt. I should have kept them. I had like 5 Ethereums. It was only $20, and Litecoin was like $10. I didn't listen. Brother Johnny was like, "You're gonna regret that if you sell it." I ain't listen to him. Brother Johnny, you was so right. I love you, boo. I was hurting when I started seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum going. I was like, man, I had 3 Bitcoins back in the day. What's wrong? Right? But I mean, everybody makes mistakes, And I didn't really know that much about crypto like I do now, So I give, God all the glory, and I give Brother Johnny some credit because he the one, started gearing me toward it, because I never heard of crypto until he told me about it, right? And then that's when I started my journey. So what I've learned about crypto is a lot of times you can't be a short-term holder. A lot of times you got to be a long-term holder. You got to go with the waves and the punches and the storms and the winds and the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the tsunamis and the floods. You got to be there for all of it. You got to have your boat anchored. So when the storms start hitting against that crypto boat, you can hang. You don't got to run. And like I tell people, I don't know who I heard this from. I don't know if it was Larry, Stock Up with Larry, or Currency 365, or Matthew Perry, but one of them said it a couple of years ago. Only invest what you can afford to invest. So when the cryptos and stocks and stuff starts tanking and people start selling, guess what? That was money they invested that they should not have been invested. That was money that they could not afford to lose. Because if they could afford to lose it, they wouldn't have sold. You get what I'm saying? You're not going to sell your crypto if you invested money that you knew that you could invest and that you would never have to take it out. If you have to take it out, or you feel you should take it out, because everything's tanking, then that's money you shouldn't have never, ever invested. Because I'm learning, crypto and stock is long-term, boo. Sometimes you wait a couple of years before you hit that jackpot, that godly jackpot. You wait a couple of years, and yes, you can lose your shirt. Like I said, your t-shirt, your underwear, your drawers, your bra, your lady garments, your pants, your dresses, your wallet, your purse. Heck, you could lose your refrigerator. You could lose your car messing around with crypto and stocks, right? So you will have losses dealing in crypto and in stock. I don't care how rich you is. Even these billionaires and millionaires that's invested in it, look how much money they have lost. You know what I mean? And they purposely crash the market so they can go and soup up stuff real cheap and then let the market go up, and then they soup it back. Like when Bitcoin was 72 grand, right? So I'm learning you have to look at crypto and stocks, silver, gold, oil, whatever you investing in, as long term. There's no such thing as short term. You be hearing people talk about, oh yeah, that's a short term holder, that's a long term holder, that's a holder. No, boo, there's no such thing. I'm learning there is no such thing as short term holders in crypto, in the stock, in silver, gold. No, it ain't. It's not, because if you're fortunate to invest in a stock, or you're fortunate enough to invest in the crypto and it 10x's, okay, boom, short-term holder, right? But if you're investing in some of these stable coins and some of these other meme coins, and if you don't know the new coin that's coming out before it comes out, you have to look at yourself as a long-term holder. So any of you who are still in crypto, still in stock, still in silver, still in gold, since November, the day after Thanksgiving in November 2021, You are a long-term holder. If you are still into crypto and you still got the same coins, or maybe you might have switched up and traded some for some new coins, but you basically got the same portfolio you had. Even in stocks, you probably traded and got new stocks. But if you have a few stocks that you had since November 2021, and you still in the game, then you are a long-term holder. And that means you invested money that you would not need. You invested money that you could forget about. But if you're still not in crypto and you done sold your money, that means that you were not really a short-term holder. You were a person who invested money that you should not have invested. You are a person that invested money that you could not forget about. So it's really not no such thing as a short-term holder. It's either you're going to hold long and put money in that you can forget about and don't need, or you using money that you can't forget about and that you will need. Then you got your panic sellers, right? You got strong sellers, then you got panic sellers. Panic sellers are people, when they start seeing the market go down just a little bit, they jump ship. And then they regret it later. And then you got people like us. We look at it and we be like, okay, this is another storm. Let me get my anchor, firmly into the ground in the sea. Let me get my anchor, because here's a storm is coming. It's a hurricane barrel coming. And I told you that hurricane was coming. I saw a hurricane that was a category 5, almost a category 6. And I saw Jamaica, and I saw all these other islands. Y'all know that, because a lot of y'all keep hitting me up on Instagram. Apostle, that vision you said about the hurricane, it came back. And I told you Texas was going to get something. And they talking about it's about to come to Texas. Florida, you next. Panhandle, I seen it, and I told y'all about it. Florida, you next. I anticipate Florida to be hitting a hurricane around September, October, before the hurricane ends. I seen it. All right, so let's just pray for the people that's being affected over there in Jamaica and all the other islands that it has already tore up. And let's pray that it skips Texas like it did Mexico. Because I even saw Mexico getting it, but it skipped Mexico. So maybe something else is going to be coming to Mexico later on. Right? So let's pray. And pray for us. Pray for the United States, the United Kingdom, because it ain't finished. The bad weather, the bad anomalies, they ain't finished, y'all. They ain't finished. We still got stuff coming this year. It ain't finished. I ain't over there in India. I saw mudslides coming. I saw the train wrecks. Remember I told you about the train wrecks? And I had 2 of them while I was on hiatus. So, I saw India getting floods, mud floods, all kinds of typhoons. So pray for India. Philippines is going to be getting a bad storm. I saw all those storms coming to China, and they came, and there's a big earthquake coming to China. It might even cause a tsunami to come with it. I told y'all that. California, they had all the earthquakes I've seen except for that big one, that 7 point, what was it? I forget what it was, 7 point something coming on the fault line. So pray for California. And y'all remember like 4 or 5 years ago, God said he was going to judge California. He was going to trash that place. Look at it. It's like being trash. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Pray for California. Pray for them. Jesus. Pray for them. They don't need it. All right. So, I'm here to encourage you. Biden may be ousted, and Obama's going to be the leader to do it. But I don't know if it's going to be Camilla or somebody else replace him. I believe they're probably going to force him, because he doesn't want to. From what I'm seeing in the news, he doesn't want to. And his wife is egging him on to stay. And I heard somebody say it was elder abuse. I had to laugh. I'm like, no, they didn't say elder abuse the wife was doing. I'm like, that is not right. That's so wrong. She's just encouraging him. I mean, she's his wife. She's the first lady. And she probably wants to stay that way for as long as she can. She know Biden ain't going to win. But she want to stay the lady in charge for as long as she can, right? So you can't blame Jill Biden for egging him on, and treating him like a baby. You did so good, boo-boo. Baby Biden, you did so good on that debate. Knowing he was terrible. I was laughing at Trump. I didn't watch it, but I just saw like little skits on YouTube. And Trump was even looking at him like, what the world? Then somebody made a video, and they showed Trump walking off the stage like a boss, right? And then they showed Biden, his wife was holding, he was walking like a little baby. I said, Daddy, no, they did. I said, it ain't funny, but it's funny. I was like, oh my goodness. And then they saying Biden is an imposter. That's not the real Biden. Because I saw a video where he was like, his skin was all dark to here. And then down here, it was white. I'm like, what the world? He couldn't have got a suntan like that. I said, sun ain't right. You know, and then they keep saying he died in Guantanamo Bay in 2018. So I asked God, I know the truth, but he told me not to open my mouth about it, so I can't open my mouth about it. But I know what's really going on with that Biden. But some things you can't say no more because you get in trouble. You know, this is not my political opinion. I don't even vote, y'all, but I'm just telling you what other people got on this YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. I'm just telling you some of the stuff I saw, and I thought it was comical. You know, it was just comical. But I never forget Trump when he was looking at him like, what in the world? I'm like, I said, if Trump is acting, and if he's down with it, he a good actor. He a good actor. But y'all remember I taught y'all the Illuminati cards back in 2018. There's a card that has a president that's an imposter in the Illuminati cards. I don't know if anybody got a video up about it, but mine's it went down with my other channel. When I took my other channel down, all those videos went with it. But they have a card that shows a president that's an imposter. So that means if it hasn't happened already, and if it's not Joe Biden, then in the future, our president is going to be an imposter. He's not going to be the real president that we all think he or she is. In my belief, I think it's happening or has happened. I think it has happened or it's happening. That's what I think. Because I don't know if we're going to have too many more presidents. You know, from what they planning on doing, you know, we'd be blessed if we have two more. You know, seriously, I'm not saying we're not going to have, you know, any more presidents after two more. But, you know, this 2030 agenda stuff they practicing, you know what I mean? So it's going to take the intervention of God to stop what they got planned for us in 2020. It is. It's going to take the intervention of God. And let's pray. If Biden is forced out, you know, he leaves on his own recognizance, let's pray it don't be like no all-out war, no all-out riot. Because, you know, it's a lot of people that still love Biden. You know, and they don't care about his incontinence or his Alzheimer's, whatever it is he's going through, memory lapse. They don't care about that. They still want him to be president because they die-hard Democrats, right? And then you got a lot of people who truly, truly hate Trump to the core. So they hate Trump so much, they would rather have Biden. They don't care if Biden is getting senile, whatever he's going through. They don't care, just to keep Trump out of there, right? So if they force him down, it could be a riot. It could be all-out war. You know what I mean? So let's pray that does not happen. Because remember I told y'all 2 years ago that the Lord told me they was going to try and cancel the election because they know Trump got it in the bag and they don't want him back in there. So, hey. So if they decide to get rid of Biden and force him out, and his people don't like it, it could be a riot, civil unrest, and that would be a reason to cancel an election. Remember I told y'all that 2 years ago? God said to tell y'all to start praying that they don't cancel the election, because if they do, it's going to be bad for us. It's going to be bad for crypto. It's going to be bad for stocks, silver, gold. Everything will tank. If they cancel an election, everything will tank, y'all, for real. All the goodness that God has shown many of us that's coming for crypto and, you know, gold, silver, stock. Man, all that stuff be out the window if they canceled the election. And then let's say whoever they choose to run against Trump would then become the president. So if they pick Camilla, Justin Trudeau, whoever they pick, would be the president, the unsuccumbing president, because Biden stepped down. I believe that's what they want to do. Biden, he's going to be forced to step down. And whoever they put in his place, right? And let's say there's a riot, civil unrest, and they say, okay, we're canceling the election because and we're postponing it until next November. That means for a whole year, whoever win the incumbent president runner will become president. And do you know the damage they could do in a year? Look what they did in 4 years. I mean, really, they don't need but 6 months to a year to just finish it off. So that's why you need to pray and be like, God, for real, Daddy, don't let it be no civil unrest. Don't let it be no riots. God, please, because if they cancel that election, look, I don't care who you is. Witch, warlock, Satanist, occultist, hater, whatever. You all affected. All of you. Ain't nobody going to be excused from that. You all affected. Your entire families. Everybody. Right? So if that happened and they get a person in that seat that they want to get in there, to finish America off. And if America gets finished off, a lot of you other countries are going to go down with it. Because America is like a Green Bay tree. Its branches is all over the place. And if it get affected, so will all the branches. So you better pray that it don't be no civil unrest. Because they will cancel that election. Daddy told me that 2 years ago. Tell y'all to pray. And I hope y'all been praying. Because I'm telling you, you got some die-hard Biden supporters, and you got liberals, and you got people that hate Trump's guts to the core. If they could kill him, they would. And they'd rather have a president that's 80-some years old, can barely walk, can't even talk, always talking about Medicare, jumping on one subject to another. He got a bad temper. He threatened a man. I saw it on Instagram. They were talking to him about the credit union for the something, and the man said something. He told the man, he said, "Let's me and you go outside." I said, no, he didn't. I said, Daddy, all that man got to do is blow on him. He finished. And I was reading where they say he has a bad temper behind closed doors. He throws tantrums and everything. I'm like, what? Y'all, so you better pray. If they force him out, no civil unrest, because they will cancel the election. I told y'all that 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Y'all better be praying. And y'all need to be praying against China and Russia, because y'all know that's in my prophecy book online. I told y'all years ago, like in 2013, 2014, it's in my prophecy book from 2012 to 2022. Right? I told y'all years ago they was going to have a system, money system, and it's now called the BRICS. And I told you how they're going to work together, and they're going to one day come against us. God going to let them. We got 5.5 years before. I told y'all, like, almost 3.5 years ago, that God gave us, 9 or 10 years to get right here. So we got about 5.5, 6.5 years left to get it right. Else we're going to be in war with China and Russia. We are going to be in war with them. And I had in the vision, I saw half of America was free. I think it was North America that was more so free with the East. And then I saw the South and the West. Definitely the West, because the West was handled by China. And I believe the South was by Russia. Then you had the North and the East. They were free. For some reason, the China and Russian troops had not made it over there. And they stopped in the South and the West, right? And that's where they were occupying. And how many of y'all remember that vision I told y'all a couple of years ago? Half of America was free and half wasn't. And the ones that was free dare not go over to the other side, and the other side that wasn't free, they couldn't even leave. The borders were locked down. So if y'all want Russia and China to take over half of America, now, if they're going to be taking half of America, they're going to be taking Europe. They may not get all of Europe. They may have half of that. But because America is supposedly Europe's little sister, but no, Europe is our little sister because America was here before anything else. America is the lost Africa. America is North Africa. America's North Africa. Just like all the stuff they have in Africa, we had it over here. The spices, the animals, everything, it was taken from us. And when Christopher Columbus came here, which we know he was half black, right? Came here, he saw the indigenous people. He just called them Indians. Just took our ancestors' name away. It's in books. I got them. And just called our ancestors Indians. That's why the Indians get reparation to this day. That's why they got sacred land. It ain't theirs. It's our ancestors, the indigenous Israelites, the Ivory people, the Ivory Coast people. Okay, it's ours. But they gave it to the Indians because Christopher Columbus said, these are Indians. These are dark Indians. Now you know how the Indians got everything. You know what? And let me tell you something. Us bronze people, we will never get reparations. Only by the hand of God. You want to know why? Because you have to get your land back. All of this land in America, it's ours. We don't have the patents on them no more. Do you know when you, and this is for people who are going to buy their house. When you buy a house, you better make sure that you own the land. That way, if you own the land, you can go and patent your land or get a colonial title. And the only way you can get a colonial title or patent your land is you have to have proof that you own it. So if you're going to spend $800,000 or more on a house, make sure you own your land. Now, if you live in a HOA place, you don't own your land. Now, across the street from me, there's a piece of land, a lot that's for sale. So whoever decides to buy that lot, if they choose to, which they'll be foolish because this is a HOA, they can try and take your house from you. But Georgia is changing a lot of laws because these HOA is taking people's houses, selling them for $1, buying them. So Georgia is changing a lot of stuff, right? So if, say somebody buy that land, right, and they build on it, now that person will actually own their own land. And they can go get a colonial title or they can patent it, right? But more so, if you move into a HOA and you buy a house, you don't really own that land. The HOA owns that land. So you can never get a colonial title and you can never patent your land. The only way you could patent your land and get a colonial title is you have to buy like just a plot of land. Or if you're buying a house that's already on the land, you have to make sure that when you buy that house, the people who own the land transfer the land deed to you as well. You see, you got the mortgage, you got the house deed, then you got the land deed. And a lot of people don't know that. So you're paying millions of dollars, $100,000 for a house. You don't even own the land. Especially if you live in an HOA, you definitely don't own your land. They do. This is why they can come and take your house from you if you're not paying them $30,000, $10,000 fee, HOA fee. This is why they can go to court without you even being there and take the house from under you because they own the land. And if they don't own the lands, then they have the right to the land. You don't. And you don't wasted all this money paying for this house. And you lose your house because of $10,000 HOA fees. One lady had to sell her house so she could pay the $30,000 to them. You got HOA people down here foreclosing on people's houses and going and what do you call that when they do that? Auctioning it off, $5. Them HOAs is crooked down here. And they're probably crooked everywhere else. So if you're going to buy a house, you need to get a house that's not in an HOA, right? Or see if you can still buy the land from the HOA. That way you own the land and the house. Then you can get a colonial title. Then you can get patent on the land. But if not, you need to be looking for a house that's not in an HOA. And when you buy the house from somebody, if you're not building it, I mean, it would be great if we all could have money just to go buy a plot. And you know, buy the land and it's ours, right? And then you build on it, right? So then you can get a colonial ownership and patent on it, right? But if you see a house that's on its own land, like let's say you want to buy a farm, right? Make sure the land deed is transferred to you, because there's a land deed, then there's the house deed. Make sure you have both of them, because when you go to apply for colonial ownership and patent, you can patent your land. Bill Gates and them do it all the time. I researched it. You can patent, because I'm gonna be a homeowner one day. You can patent your land, Right? So the government, nobody can take your land from you. You see how the government can seize your land if you don't pay your taxes, right? If you don't pay your taxes for like a year or two, right? They can mortgage it. I mean, they can um what do you call that thing again? Auction it off, right? And what happens is the person, I took a real estate course back in when I first came down here in Atlanta. What happens is a person that wants to start getting into real estate, they can go to wherever they keep the records, about your houses and stuff. And they can go to this taxation place, and they can get a list of all the houses that own taxes. Do you know that a person, if they know what they're doing, could go and pay your taxes without you knowing it and own your house? But they have to give you 1 year to be able to pay back what they pay. You have to pay them double. So if they pay $5,000 on your taxes, you'll have to pay them 10 grand in a year. If you don't, they own your house. So they could choose to let you stay there and you pay rent, or they could choose to evict you, fix the house up, do what they want to do with it, and sell it. There is a huge database that only certain people are privileged to, that you can go there and see all these houses that are behind in their taxes and just go right to the taxation and pay it. And you own the house, but you have to give them a year to pay you back double. If they pay you back double, then they don't lose their house and it's theirs, right? Because I'm going to tell you something about the banks. Do you really think the banks want to take those houses back because they're not paying their taxes and their mortgage? No, the banks is into making money, especially nowadays. So the bank would rather somebody go and pay the taxes and take the house from them and continue to pay the mortgage, right? So for those of you that want to be in real estate, and even if you don't want to be in real estate and you want to buy a house, you should learn these things. You should learn these things. So if you get a colonial ownership over your house and you get a patent over your land, the government can't even take it. It's in their bylaws. It's in the United States bylaws. They can't even take it from you because you own it. Because you got a patent on the land and you got colonial thing on your house. They can never take it from you. The only way they can take it from you is if you don't pay your taxes. And another way not to pay taxes, which I don't recommend anybody doing, if one of your loved ones die and bury them in your backyard, your backyard becomes a funeral place. You don't got to pay taxes. But don't nobody want to bury their dead people in their backyard. God said don't live among the dead. So continue to pay your taxes. That would be the only way that they could get your land and your house from under you with a colonial deed and a patent, as if you didn't pay your taxes. And if you have a colonial deed and a patent on your land, guess what? Your taxes go down. Let's say like in Jersey, for a mansion of $1 million and some change, your taxes could be anywhere from $8,000 to $17,000 a year. But if you get a colonial deed and a patent on your land, it may cut it off a couple of thousand. And people don't know this. And people just going to buy houses left and right. They don't even know what they're getting into. And your house goes up, whereas when you buy a car, it goes down. And the reason why a car goes down, see, a house cannot move unless it's a house on wheels. It cannot move. So anything that cannot move will not depreciate. But when you buy a car, the moment you buy it off the lot, it's moving. Wear and tear. So it goes down. But a house, it doesn't move. Even if it has a lot of wear and tear, you can still get $100,000 to $300,000 on a house that needs $100,000 or $150,000 invested in it to fix it up and bring the value up through the roof. But you can't do that with a car because you are moving it constantly. Every day you're using it, or every other day you're using it, And even when you finish paying your car off, you still got to pay taxes on it, or it has to stay parked. If you driving it, you still so this is how they get you. You never really own your car. There's no colonial titles or anything like that for your car. So you never really own your car, because even when you pay it off, you still got to pay yearly taxes just to drive it. But with a house, you own it, but you still got to pay taxes. And if you don't, then you know, they may have a hard time seizing your house because you got a colonial deed and you got a patent on it, but they still will be able to do it if you don't pay your taxes. So technically, you have a colonial deed, you have a plot land, and the government can't take it. Let's say the government decides to take a bunch of people's houses, right? And everybody's up on their taxes, right? And they come across yours, and they be like, oh, snap, that's a colonial deed house. That's a patent land. We can't touch it. Let's see if they owe taxes. Nope, they don't owe taxes, so we can't touch it. We got to go by. But they'll watch you to make sure to see if you fall behind your taxes. The moment you do, they will swoop in. And see, they can't just take it. They would literally have to take you to court to transfer the land deed and the colonial deed from you to them. Whereas if you don't have a colonial deed or land deed, they can just swoop and take your house. They don't got to take you to court or nothing. So I would recommend, if you're going to buy land and a house, no HOA. And if you choose the HOA, you know, first look into it to see if you can buy the rights from the HOA and own that land. But I wouldn't recommend it because I ain't trying to pay nobody fees. Well, I'm from a Jersey. We don't have all that HOA with some places, but not like the South, you know. And really, you don't need an HOA. If everybody in the community get together and get a bank account and designate a trustee that they could trust over this bank account, and every month, everybody send money, 50, 60, whatever, to this bank account, and you use that bank account to pay the people when they mow the lawns, when they wreck the leaves, when they blow the snow, to keep the streets safe. We already have a neighborhood watch. We even got an app that you can put on your phone to see what's going on in the neighborhood, and good stuff, but if bad stuff, you know, so people can get together and do that themselves and don't got to pay these outrageous $200, $300, $400, $500 a month HOA fees. You don't. People could get together and designate some trustees that they can trust, and even designate people over the trustees to keep them intact. You know what I mean? You don't need HOAs. You don't. And everybody pay like where I live, it's like what? Probably 200, 300, 400 houses, right? And it's everybody's paying $60 a month into this account. That would cover so much. You would have surpluses. You know who getting all the money in the HOA? The HOA president, vice president, staff. They buying your people houses for $5 an hour. They the ones reaping. You know, so you could push HOAs right on out. They just said it to fill. Yep. So in reality, you never really own anything except if you get a colonial deed and a patent. And if you fall back on your taxes, they would have to literally sue you to take it from you. Whereas if you don't have those things, they could just take your house. If the government just say, you know, we taking everybody's house, we putting you in a camp, nothing you could do. But if you got a colonial deed and you got patent land, your taxes, you be the only one living out in the world. They can't do nothing to you. And a lot of people don't know this. And I'll be like, Daddy, people just buying houses and they're not studying. They're not doing anything. And I'm like, maybe that's why, you know, he has made me wait as long as I have waited, like 7 years, before I can purchase a house. Because, I mean, yeah, my brother Travis, my apostle Ethel, they all sent me stuff so I would know what to do when I buy a house, inspection and all of that. But they didn't send me this stuff that I'm telling you about. I learned this stuff doing my own research. I watched through the short videos on Instagram, and I'm like, let me go look that up. Let me go get some books. And I get me some books like the Strongman book, the Debt book, all of that. And I read it, right? And then I talk to God about it. And then it's how I learn it, you know. And then I share some of what I learned. I don't share all, but I share some. So then that could ignite you guys to go and research and get some books and do your due diligence to cover your butt when you get ready to buy a house. And try not to buy a house in the HOA. I know in the South it's hard, but there's plenty of houses that you could buy in the South that don't have an HOA. You know, but there's a lot that do. And I know Texas has it, you know, and Texas has a lot of land. You know, you could buy like an old farm, right? Old farmland. And it don't gotta be a farm. You can tear that farmhouse down and build you your mansion, your house, whatever you want to be. And you ain't gotta have no animals. None of that. You could just have a big old plot of land. Heck, you can build 2-3 houses on there. You gotta go through the zoning thing, and make sure it's okay with the state, because most farmlands they have a main house, then they have a guest house, then they have another house, then they have sheds and all this stuff, right? So if you buy a farmland, you could build your mansion. You could maybe put a house for your kids. You know what I mean? A guest house. Go through the zoning rules and stuff and make sure it's okay. That's what you could do. You don't gotta, just because you buy a farm don't mean you gotta be a farmer. You know what I mean? A lot of these farms weren't farms anyway. They were just plots of land, and then they made them into farms. I mean, if God give us enough money where we could go and buy some land and build a house, that's better. But if he choose you to go and buy a house, make sure it ain't an HOA, and make sure you get the land deed, and then you can get a colonial deed, and your house is yours. What do you think Bill Gates and all of them do? The Rothschilds or Rockefeller, everything they own. Bill Gates own like 1 million or something pieces of land. You got about 10 big families in America alone. They own million point something lands, and they got colonial deeds and patents, so nobody can never take it from them unless they choose to sell it. And because you have a patent and colonial deed, let's say the house was worth $5 million, you could probably sell it for $7 million because you got the deed and the colonial, which secures they are the owner who buying it from you. You were talking about, something. Oh, owning the land. If anyone here doubts that, move with Kevin Costner about. Oh, it's a movie about it? What? Yeah, look it up. Google colonial deeds. Google patent on land. Bill Gates and all of them do it. So nobody can never take it from them. Nobody. And it brings the value of the land and the house up more because you have it. And the next person you sell it to, they will be secure because they will have the colonial deed and they will have the land too, because you're selling a colonial deed house and you're selling the land that's patent. So when you sell a patent, you have to sell the patent to somebody else. And then they go and make sure that it's patent. I was like, I did not know you could patent land. I happened to see this Instagram, and he was saying how Bill Gates had patented 1 million. So I said, you could patent land? I went and looked that stuff up. I was like, let me tell you something. The truth is right in front of us. Didn't they make a movie about that? The truth is right in front of you. The truth is right in front of us in Google. Now, Google done took a lot of stuff out, but there's still a lot of truth in Google. I'm like, this stuff is right here. Then you go to Amazon and buy books on it. I'm like, it's right in front of us. But you don't know it until you hear it or you see somebody talk about it. You be like, hey, wait a minute, a light bulb go off, right? And then you learn, and then you teach some of the stuff you learn, and then that person be like, hey, wait a minute, Kevin Costner's movie, let me go research this because I want to buy a house. Or you may own a house already, but if you're an HOA, you got to find out if you even get the rights to the land, or sell it and find a house that you could get the rights to the land. You know what I mean? And so that's how wisdom gets out, but that's why they be messing with us on these TikToks and Instagrams and Facebooks and metaverse, and you got the meta AI, then you got this YouTube, they be messing with us because a lot of truth comes out on these platforms. See, when they made the internet, I guess, Yadaboff doesn't see everything, the devil. So I guess, when they made the internet, they didn't comprehend all of this other stuff that was going to be coming. They didn't think, that Godhead was going to get in this stuff, right? So a lot of stuff that we know, we would never know if we didn't have the Instagram, the YouTubes, the TikToks, the Facebooks, the Metaverse, Meta AI, Google, AOL, Yahoo, and only God knows what else. If we didn't have this internet and all this stuff, we would be some Stone Age people. So see, now they done built a monster that's turning on them. And they done built a monster that's turning on them. That's why they're always threatening to take Facebook down. Instagram now. You don't never hear them threaten YouTube. I don't know why. Maybe because Google owns YouTube and Google is big. So if you try to take Google down, it's going to be a big fight. But TikTok and all those other stuff, right? That's why they always be threatening to take it down. And why do you want to take it down? Because there's so much truth. Especially YouTube has a lot of truth. Although YouTube be scandalizing people, harassing them, trying to take away their water, take away their finances, threatening them. Your channel's going down if you get too much strikes. And they take their ass from your video does not comply with us, right? But if you go on this YouTube, the very thing that they come after you with is on other people's channel and been there for years. And you like, wait a minute, I got a strike because of this video. I done seen it. Because I got strikes for videos and I took them down, And I go to somebody else's channel and it ain't their video neither. And I'm like, wait a minute. And it's been up 2-3 years and they ain't get a strike or a warning? Something's not right here. YouTube, you got some explaining to do. I'm like, so they're selective. So if you got this video and they like you, you good. But if you got that video and they don't like you, you get you know what? Forget about it. It just keeps coming on. You're getting a strike. I've been seeing this recently. I'm like, Daddy, do you see this? Now, if I had that video, they would get me. They would get me. I had it, and I had to take it down. But here, this person, I had it for 2-3 years. Millions of hits on it. Ain't no trouble. So YouTube is selective, y'all. If they don't like you, you put up stuff and they can get you, they gonna get you. If they like you and you put up stuff and they know you shouldn't have it, you good. Facebook the same way. TikTok the same way. Instagram will snatch your videos down in a heartbeat too, or give you a warning. Fake news, shouldn't watch. Metaverse, Meta AI, they will do it. They will do it. And that's what I'm learning about these platforms. But see, they didn't think that we would learn as much as we have learned. God is using the internet to wake us up. There's books out there we never knew existed, and we learn about them from the internet. Or we learn about a subject and we start researching, and then we learn about these books. So God is using the internet to wake us up. Like it says in the book of Daniel, Revelation, all his spirit will pour out on all flesh. That means his wisdom, everything about him, the Ruach, everything. So we didn't have this internet, we wouldn't even have the wisdom and knowledge. And God is using the internet to wake people up, especially TikTok and YouTube. He's using YouTube too. This is why it's so hard on YouTube, and it's getting a little hard on TikTok. It's not as hard on Instagram and Metaverse and Facebook. But the TikTok, YouTube is the worst one. And TikTok is second, right? So this is why they coming for us the way they coming. And plus they just passed a law. The government is coming down on all the social media channels, telling them to take down channels or videos that's giving false narrative, false information. I said, election time is coming. Right? So like one of my Donald Trump videos get taken down from 2020, y'all. It's 2024. I mean, it sat there for 4 years and they took it down right after that law passed. So if they think you talking fake news and you ain't got no facts to back it up, that video coming down and you might get a strike. You might get a strike. So you got to be very careful when you talk about politics. And before you even speak about it, you got to fact check it, make sure it's true. And in your description box, put your fact checking and all that you got so you won't get your video removed or strike. And TikTok, they done banned so many channels. I was listening the other day. They don't even want you. At least YouTube tell you, look, we taking your video down and you got a strike. And if you get 2 more, you're out of here. Right? Or they'll warn you, you got 7 days to take this video down. All right. But TikTok, pump that. They just snatch it. Or they'll snatch your channel. Don't even tell you nothing. You go to your channel, you got 0 followers. your video is gone. Gone. They block comments. I think YouTube do that too, right? So at least with YouTube, you get warnings. You can get in Facebook too, but you don't get nothing. And Instagram, you get warnings. But TikTok, they don't want you jack. They gone. Snatch. All right, so I gotta go, y'all. We going to the rich people area in their store to look for some stuff in rich people area today. And I'm like, I told Pat, I said, Pat, wait a minute. Tomorrow's the 4th. I said, ain't places gonna be closed? She said, just the government and the post office. I said, what? And I have not been out on the 4th of July. Usually I stay in the house. So this is the first 4th of July I've been out in 6 years. Because the first year I came here, I didn't go out to like a cookout, but I went somewhere. I can't remember what it was. Right? So I would say I've been here 7 years. So the past 5 years, I haven't gone anywhere on the 4th of July unless I'm away at home or with my kids and we might go out to eat or something. But like just to be going out, I haven't done it. So it's funny that the 4th of July falls on a Thursday, but everybody's closed. Probably the government is going to be closed tomorrow too, and the post office, because they're going to use Friday instead of Thursday. Because normally if it falls on a Friday, they use that Monday. So being that it fell on a Thursday, they're going to use tomorrow too. So everything's going to be closed except for the stores and stuff. Positive. Oh, I gotta check it. I ain't checked that. That email's on my other phone, Rose. I gotta check it. I haven't checked it in 3 days. Sorry. And my Yahoo's on the other phone, so I gotta check that for so like all the free tickets are gone, y'all. They went fast. Some people was like, can I come? I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna check it later, Rose. Sounds like fun, buzzing. Yes, we will be safe. The Lord is with us. And if any of you go anywhere, whatever, y'all be safe too. You okay? All right, so y'all got some valuable jewels from Daddy through me today, right? And please make sure, I gotta bring my picture down because I was supposed to be able to see it. See, and y'all can't see it. If I do this, then y'all can't see me. So I gotta get Pat to bring the picture down more. All right. So share this knowledge, whoever God leads you to share it with. Research it. They got plenty of resources on Google, AOL, Yahoo. If you want, Google some books on Amazon or wherever you buy books from, Barnes and Nobles. And educate yourself if you want to be a homeowner or if you are a homeowner. You know what I mean? And if you in an HOA and you want to own your own land and stuff, you can sell your house when the time comes. The market, the houses are still kind of very expensive, but eventually that's going to go down. Just like inflation, that's going to start going down toward the end of this year, the beginning of next year. Because these kind of things cannot stay. They have to come down. Inflation can't stay up forever. It has to come down. Home prices cannot stay high with high interest rates. They have to come down. I believe when the government brings the interest rates down, it's going to help a lot with housing. But with housing, you're not going to see it right away. It may take 6 months to 9 months for you to see it in housing. But as far as food and stuff like that, you're going to see it. As far as rent, you'll probably see it in 6 to 9 months. Because people will start trying to buy houses, and then a lot of these apartments will be vacant. You got a lot of vacant places already, and the landlords are going to have to go down on the rent, So that may take 6 months to 9 months before you start seeing repercussions from that. But as far as our food and inflation, probably by the end of starting the end of the year into the first 6 months, the first quarter of next year, we'll start seeing stuff go down, and the quality of food will start going back the way it used to. But you got to remember, a lot of places are going to be closed. Like a lot of these trucking companies have gone out of business. So this is why a lot of these places aren't getting the food as fast as they used to, because of all the trucking fees and stuff that went up. So a lot of these trucking companies couldn't handle it, so they went out of business. A lot of truckers left trucking and doing other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So We're still going to be feeling that even when the inflation goes down. You're going to see a lot of Walmarts are going, a lot of Targets are going, Macy's, J.C. Penney's. You know, a lot of these stores are going to be vanished. Some Walgreens, you know, little mom and pop stores. Me and Pat be riding around sometimes, a whole strip mall gone. Gone. Little mom and pop grocery store gone. Even banks gone. You know, so we going to see a lot of that too. But, you know, at least stuff will go down and the quality will be better. You know what I mean? And you still got to pray over your food, you know, meats and veggies. You know, make sure you don't get those veggies that got that appeal thing on them. Bill Gates, and he got some stuff and nah. You know, try and stay with the fruits that got seeds in them. You know, they'll tell you, like, they tricky though. I bought some lemons a week ago that said they had seeds. 2 of them had seeds and 2 didn't. So they're mixing the seedless and seeds together. So you got to be careful. I threw those things in the garbage. God was like, well, why didn't you just pray over it? I said, it ain't had no seeds. He said, why didn't you just pray over it? I said, it ain't had no seeds. He said, you bought it, so pray over it. But I left them in the garbage. So I'm like, if you make a mistake and buy some fruit that doesn't have seeds in it, you can pray over it, because it's a mistake. But just don't go outright buying these seedless fruits. You know, now if you don't have no choice and that's all they got, and you need a lemon or you need this or you need that, then you just pray over it right there in the store. God, I pray over this. You know, and a lot of fruits are not cloned. Like, for instance, what's that fruit? It was a fruit. I saw it on Instagram. I forget the name of the fruit, but it was a fruit and it had seeds in it. I believe it was oranges, right? And they covered it with this thick white net, the trees, so that the bees couldn't get to it. See, the bees are the ones that help put the seeds in a lot of fruits, right? And so the bees couldn't get to it. So because the bees couldn't get to it, it became seedless. So a lot of the fruits are not cloned or made in labs. Some are really the natural fruits, but they prevented the bees from getting in it. And pray for bees, because God said we're losing a lot of bees, and our ecosystem would be jacked up. So pray that God keep pumping bees, although they're dangerous. Pray that they keep pumping bees so we can have honey, and the ecosystem will be good. Pray that, right? So not all fruits are cloned and made in the lab. A lot of them, they just prevent the bees. And if they prevent the bees from them, the bees in those areas and seasons will die off, right? So just pray that. Any tips on how I can get my dad to stop getting super jealous every time my sister and I... Why would you be sleeping with your sister? That's nasty. Wait, did I just see that? Who is that? You're nasty, and I'm gonna block you, because that's nasty. Oh, I think he just took it. Look, the comment is gone. Did somebody remove it, or did the person remove it themselves? That's nasty. You're not supposed to be sleeping with your sister. You are nasty. You need to repent. Whoever that is, repent, for your soul get lost in the devil's garden. In Yeshua's name. What? I know. Troller. Troller. Look, troller alert. Remember how they say danger ranger alert? Danger ranger. Troll alert. Troll alert. You have a lot of these trolls. You just gotta laugh at them. You just gotta laugh at them. I know I got a lot of trolls behind the scenes and in the scene. I know I got a lot of trollers. I already know that. I had to look at it twice, and when I went to go look at it, somebody removed it, or the person, removed it. I'm like, what? You're nasty. What's wrong with Pastor Bill Winston? He come on TV. What's wrong with him? Oh, well, I pray whatever's wrong with him, God heal him. And pray for Pastor Tony Evans and that other white man. What's his name? I used to watch him too. They done did some not so great things. So pray that God restore them. Pray that they repent and that they get right. Even pray that TD Jakes start repenting and getting right. You know, so God can deal with them. All of them out there that's doing wrong. You pray for me. I think I'm becoming. Well, I pray, Grandmaster P, that God strengthens your spirit and God strengthens your soul, right? And makes you strong in Him. All you need is a good fast. Whenever you're feeling weak in your spiritual walk, that means you need to fast. You could take 3 days, 5 days. Let it be led by the Holy Spirit. You could do 62. You could do increments. You can do 12 hours. Just pray and ask the Holy Spirit, which way to do your fast, and do it like 3 to 5 days, and read scriptures as much as you can, pray as much as you can, spend much time with God. And in your quiet time of fasting, because when we fast, it's quiet time. Some people watch TV. Sometimes I watch TV, but I watch, stuff that's good to watch. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll just sit there for an hour or two and just pray with God, right? Because in your moment of silence in the fast, you will hear God. You will hear God. You will hear Him. So when you feel yourself getting weak in your walk, 3 to 5 day fasting, zap you right back. Because you don't want to get weak in your walk. Because I'm telling you, the devil got off in them. And these demons that we done got delivered from, I mean, they dead and gone. But these new demons, they like literally sitting outside your front door. Just squatting on you to make a mistake. They ain't even going to give God time to help you. Right? So when you start getting weak, oh my goodness, here they come. And let me tell you something. When they come back a second and third time, it is not well for that person. So don't ever let yourself get spiritually weak. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry out to God. You know what I mean? It's okay to admit to God you're fed up. I mean, you shouldn't say you're tired, but if you're tired, be truthful. Be like, God, I'm fed up. I'm tired. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. Things aren't happening the way they were supposed to. You're not telling me nothing, but I know you got me. Although you slay me, you love me. Although the devil's stiffed in me, you are with me. You wouldn't have brought me this far if you didn't have a destiny for me. You gotta like talk to yourself. You gotta encourage yourself. And when you start encouraging yourself, God will start encouraging you. And you're like, God, I feel like I'm weak in my spiritual walk. Can you show me the way? Can you help me? And like I had this vision long time ago. Me and Yeshua was walking on the beach. He's so handsome. We were walking on the beach, and at first he was holding my hand, and then all of a sudden I'm talking to him, and all of a sudden I realized he gone. He disappeared. So I stopped. I'm looking. I'm like, yeah, right? And then all of a sudden I just felt in my spirit that I should just keep walking. And I kept walking. And at the end of the beach, he was standing there smiling with his hands out. And then when I got to him, I took his hand and we walked away. And then there was another time I had a vision. This was a mountain I had to climb. And then it was this real narrow bridge I had to climb, right? And at that time, I was going through a lot of stuff, right? And he was high up on the other mountain on the other side. He kept telling me, come. And I kept saying, but I can't. He said, come. He said, I'm with you. So I walked up the mountain, and you should have seen this narrow bridge. I'm like, there's no way I could do this. And I got on the bridge, and I made it. And then I had to walk up to the mountain where he was. And he said, I was with you the whole time. And when I was walking alone on the beach, he said, I was with you the whole time. You just couldn't see me. So that's to let you know, when you get weak, he's with you. Sometimes he has to hold our hand and walk. So I had visions of him carrying me at one time. So sometimes he has to hold your hand. Sometimes he has to carry you, and it's okay to say, God, I'm weak. I need you to carry me. I need you to hold my hand. I need you to encourage me. He's our Father. Don't fathers on the earth, the good fathers, encourage you. The good mamas, they encourage you. You can even call the Holy Spirit, Mama Rue. You are in me. I'm in you. You are beside me. I'm beside you. Help me. Strengthen my soul and my spirit. Oh, one more thing. Can I say this? Okay, because I got this awesome teaching I'm going to be doing at my conference, right? So I can't really reveal to you what it is. I have to save it for that. But he is letting me tell you this part. You need to pray. Your soul and your spirit is supposed to be inclined and committed to each other, but they're supposed to be separate. So pray and say, God, I pray that my soul and my spirit stay separate the way they're supposed to be, but they're inclined and committed to each other. Meaning they work together. Even in your dreams, when you're having bad dreams, they will work together. In the spirit realm, they will work together. when you walking and talking, they'll work together. But make sure you say, Father, please allow my spirit and soul to be separated, because they're not supposed to be infused together. When they're infused together, that's not good. When they're separated and on their own recognizance, but they're committed and working together, you will be so much better spiritually in life. This is probably why a lot of you probably can't get much breakthroughs and stuff like that, because you were never taught that your soul and your spirit should not be infused. They're supposed to be separated, but committed and inclined to work together in Yeshua's name. So that's what you pray. So all of you who will come to the conference, y'all gonna get some good stuff. Man, it's gonna be some deliverance. It's gonna be some deliverance. And another thing, all of you who are coming to the conference, please dress up nice. Like Pat's gonna have a gown on one day, I'm gonna have a gown on, and the next day she's gonna have a dress, and I'm gonna be dressy. So men, come in suits. If you don't got a suit, go and get one. If you don't got money, ask God to buy them. Or come in a nice shirt and pants with tie. Women, if you want to wear a gown, go right ahead. If you don't want to wear a gown, wear a beautiful dress. If you want to wear a nice little hat, because I'm gonna have like little hair pieces. I'm not gonna have hats, but hair pieces. Whatever you want to wear, just make sure you be elegant. Because me, I'm old school. You ain't coming in there with no jeans, no short skirt up your booty. Men looking like I don't know what. And get your haircuts, men. For those of you who got hair, get your haircut. If you bald, make sure you do it right now. I can't tell nobody not to wear makeup. If you wear makeup, I can't tell you that. That's between you and God. But ladies, be natural, In Yeshua's name, have your hair, whatever hair you got, your hair, if God gave you permission to wear some hair, whatever you got, make sure it's pretty and nice. Okay? I don't wear jewelry. I just had a choker on one time, but I don't wear jewelry. But if you wear jewelry, I can't say nothing to you about that. But just make sure it's nice. That's between you and God. Because I'm old school. When you deal with me, you're going to be elegant. You're going to be good looking. You're going to be handsome. You're going to be beautiful. So I'm letting all of you know that's come to my conference, y'all better be looking elegant. Y'all better be looking good. You hear me? All right, so I just wanted to say that. So I see y'all later. I'm gonna be on TikTok either tomorrow night or Saturday. All right, so I love you guys. Have you heard from Matt? Praise, I guess he's doing okay. Pray and ask God about him. I guess he's doing okay. Just pray and ask God about him. I already set my hair, but you did. I can't wait for God. Hey, Serena. I saw your prayer. I prayed for you. And I put up a deliverance thing for people to see, because God told me to do it, because some people need deliverance. So go look for it. It's in my community tab and it's on my Facebooks. And you do that. It'll help you. I've been watching you for 5-6 years now. I hope you. Oh, God bless you, Tiffany. Wow, you OG. You OG. All right. Okay. So I'll see y'all on TikTok Friday or Saturday. All right. So you guys have a great day in the Lord. Share this information. Go over it. Pray about it. Research it. So you guys could get right with your housing and stuff like that. All right. So much love. Shalom.